Welcome to this overview of RocketCyber, the managed SOC offering from Kaseya. RocketCyber is a managed detection and response solution with a 24/7 SOC team behind it doing the response and triage from the alerts coming in for our customers. These are all in-country U.S. citizens. We do have a separate instance for our customers in the EU that have GDPR requirements as well. The team is going to be triaging and responding to alerts across endpoint, network, and cloud layers, specifically Microsoft 365 for the cloud. Deployment requires no hardware. This is what makes it very easy to deploy. So you simply push out an agent. We have scripts made for all the major RMMs, as well as, you could use group policy or command line, GUIs. There's many ways you could do it. But essentially, you're just putting an agent onto the servers and workstations. Very lightweight agent, comes in Windows, Mac, and Linux flavors. From there, we can ingest as well from firewalls and other edge devices via remote syslog. Everything else is going to be a simple API-based connection. So that's going to include a whole app store of integrations, things like ticketing systems, AVs, other third-party apps, as well as Microsoft. For what we integrate with, you can visit rocketcyber.com/integrations. Here you'll see all the different AV, EDRs, and firewall vendors that are supported, so we can add these as sources of ingestion for the platform. And critically, you'll notice a variety of AVs and EDRs. RocketCyber is not designed to replace the AV and or EDR layer. We are sitting on top of the existing AV, as you can see many of those vendors here, and adding additional detection and response above and beyond the AV and responding and triaging alerts from any given AV or EDR that may be in the stack, which also includes Microsoft Defender. We not only monitor Defender, but we also give you command and control of Windows Defender from within the platform if you're one of the partners that would like to leverage Microsoft Defender as the base AV layer. So once you've deployed RocketCyber, we're ingesting from the firewalls, we're doing API connections, maybe with the AV layer or other apps. You're going to have this visually very easy to understand dashboard that looks like this. Here you'll see a number of apps. The bulk of the apps are just going to be on right out of the box, but then there is this app store where you can go and add those other integrations, third-party integrations, as well as other Kaseya Datto products, whatever that AV may be. You can come here and turn that on, and all those integrations live right here in this integrations tab. This is where you can connect everything from the ticketing system to that endpoint layer to Microsoft 365 and everything else available in our App Store, which is a growing list of purpose-built integrations. Visually navigating the dashboard is very simple. It is also multi-tenanted, so it's easy to see at the global level, the sites or orgs underneath of you, and you can view those at the global level or switch contexts and move down to the context of an individual customer or organization or site, however you'd like to set that up. By the same token, you can create logins associated with different accounts or sites beneath and give them certain, users certain role-based privileges. So if you're doing, let's say, co-managed IT or need to segment your text to certain sites or orgs, very easy to accomplish that. Also, I'm going to go back up to the top level just so we have a little bit more data to look at. Using this app-based approach makes it visually very easy to see the different sources of ingestion and having a single pane of glass for all those events and logs. So for example, the connections on the machine, the logs may be coming from Windows Defender or whatever the AV that you're using. All the endpoint event logs, those firewall logs, Office 365 logs, and just anything else you've added in from the App Store to supplement what's available right out of the box. And then from there, it's not going to be the job of the RocketCyber customer to build in the detections. Those are already built in, but it is nice that the partners anyone access to the dashboard here can go into any individual app. Should you want to go and look at what's being ingested and easily click review on any given app, you can filter through viewing these logs, in this case, endpoint event logs. You can do multiple active filters. You can view the logs live in console very easily in the platform. And you can also export from here. As far as ingestion, this is unlimited ingestion, and it comes with a year of retention right out of the box. So easy to see logs if you're maybe investigating something or trying to find a given, let's say, event ID across a certain date range. Maybe you're want to know if a certain user logged in or attempted to log in. So just really easy to access the logs. if needed. But of course, it's, having an MDR platform. Part of the purpose of the product is not for our partners to need to come in here and find that needle in the haystack. Part of the main reason for deploying a solution like this is for us to surface up that suspicious or malicious activity, and that will come in the form of an incident. So we've got quite a few incidents open here for the purposes of a demo, just to give you an idea of some of the types of events that might be those more high fidelity alerts that would look suspicious or malicious or something actionable. Whenever an incident is generated, of which you can see some samples here, two things will happen. Right away, you will be sent either an email or a ticket if you've connected to one of the ticketing systems. And then from that point, it gets triaged by the SOC team. And we have certain SLAs we need to meet in regards to how fast we are going to respond to that and what actions we're going to take. Some may just remain alerts, depending on the urgency or criticality of that alert. Others will be, phone calls will be coming from the SOC following the instructions of whatever the partner has designated as how they'd like to be reached. And other more suspicious, critically urgent SEV1 types incidents that we do have the power to isolate the machine and then work with you to provide incident response and possibly response actions from the SOC. I'll just scroll through so you can get an idea of some of the types of alerts you might see. This is not an exhaustive list of everything possible, but just broadly, could be connections on machines. It could be suspicious logins of various types. It could be certain scripts being run, privileges being escalated, users being created, vulnerabilities being found. It could be an alert from the AV or EDR that's connected. It could be a suspicious tool or remote access tool or just various types of possible malware or even legitimate software that could be used by threat actors, things like log clear. So there are hundreds of detections. And if one happens, I'll give you an example of what an incident might look like. You could imagine getting a ticket or an email and possibly a call coming from the SOC, depending on the criticality of what has happened. But here you see a sample of just an idea of what an incident might look like when it happens. You'll be served up all the detail of what was seen, along with the logs. So here you can see this connection happening multiple times over and over. We roll all these different logs into one incident, so you're not going to be getting dozens and dozens of tickets. So this is all logs related to a specific type of incident. You'll be able to view the logs, what we call the triage view. This is very similar to the same way our analysts see this data, so they can make a determination and analyze the nature of what is being seen here. There'll be instructions about what to do and if what we're seeing is unauthorized or authorized. This is part of a shared responsibility model. So our team will have responsibility for that immediate response and isolation and possible assistance from that point. And then those steps will be clearly listed here. There'll be contact from the SOC team reaching out, and we work together as think of us as like an outsourced part of your team that works alongside of you with instruction and assistance as much as needed. Any kind of false positives, we do allow for incident suppression, so that will be collected in the future, but we won't alert on that if it is a false positive and you'd like to suppress the alerting of any type of activity that we initially alert on. From here, you may also see incidences depending on what part of the remediation may be. If it involves certain activities that the agent can take on the machine, uninstalling software, deleting files, changing registry keys, disabling services, etc. Some types of incidences will also see this remediate button, to where any suggested remediation can be offered here in one click, and the IT tech responding to this ticket or alert could easily take an action right through our own agent with that one-click remediation. So, and conversely, let's say once this alert has been viewed by the tech or whoever's responding to this incident through on the partner side, once this has then been looked at, the steps have been followed, worked with the SOC as needed, depending on what type of incident it might be. Upon clicking resolve, if you are connected to a ticketing system, that will also close the ticket on the other side. Quickly highlight just a couple apps here. This is not an exhaustive list of all of our apps either, but you'll see connections on machines, some third-party apps, maybe the Bitdefender, Sentinel-1, Datto EDR, an in-house EDR product here at Kaseya Datto, as well as our own dark web ID, Graphis, our anti-phishing tool, Vol Scan, our internal-external vulnerability scanner, as well as many others here. That is a growing app store that you'll see continue to provide new purpose-built apps for specific products and types of alerts. We also offer the Datto ransomware detection engine built into the RocketCyber agent. So if we do see mass file encryption on a machine, we are able to automatically terminate and isolate when that encryption at scale is seen as an extra layer of defense that's hopefully never needed. I hope this has been helpful. And if you're looking to get any more information, of course, contact your account manager, and we'd love to have you on a demo. Thanks very much.